I flat out cannot believe the Red Sox just did this. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Red Sea Radio. My name is Corbin, and what? 6 hours right after I did my probably biggest complaining about the Red Sox I've done in a very long time, they just completed what may be not only the biggest trade of this offseason, but the biggest trade the Red Sox have made in a very long time. So what we're going to do in the second video today, before our live stream tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern, right here on this channel, we're going to break this trade down, talk about our initial reactions, what we think of it, and what it could mean for the Red Sox offseason. Thank you all very much for clicking on this one. Let's get into it. Okay, so for those of you who have not seen the news just yet, a couple of hours ago, Jeff Passan broke that the Red Sox were finalizing a deal with the Chicago White Sox for none other than Red Sox fan favorite target, Garrett Crochet. That's right, Garrett Crochet is officially a Boston Red Sox. Now, I gotta tell you, this trade is really big. It's a prospect haul for the Chicago White Sox, and it's a big loss for the Boston Red Sox. The haul going back to the Chicago White Sox is headlined by number 4 prospect in the system, Kyle Teel, number 5 prospect in the system, Braden Montgomery, Chase Meidroth, and Wickelman Gonzalez. Now that is, again, just a mass amount of prospect talent coming in for the Chicago White Sox and leaving the Red Sox, and we'll get into that in a second, but I just want to sit here and let's celebrate a little bit. The Red Sox just got the number 1 trade target on the open market. They went out there, they put their balls to the wall, and they said, look, I'm willing to do what it takes to make Garrett Crochet a Boston Red Sox, and I think it's absolutely fantastic that they did. What are they getting from Garrett Crochet? They are getting one of the highest talented players in terms of pitching in the entire sport. The Red Sox are looking for young, controllable talent. They're looking for players to fit right in their timeline that they've been looking for the last couple of years. This is the guy who's going to do that. Yes, the 2024 statistics aren't incredibly fantastic. I didn't write a script, so we're kind of going blind here. I'm just purely reacting, but overall, it was a 3.58 ERA with a 2.69 FIP, so he was getting incredibly unlucky on the mound. That's probably due to playing for the Chicago White Sox. He had one of, if not the highest K per 9 amongst starters in Major League Baseball at 12.9, a very, very solid 2.0 walks per 9. He did give up some home runs, but it was still fairly solid. The whip, nice and low at 1.068. With an ERA plus of 115, I know that people are going to sit there and they are going to say, boy, am I worried about the second half. And you know what? I was right in that boat with you. Garrett Crochet fell off in the second half, but what I'm going to say here is that part of the reason for that is because he was limited in innings. The Chicago White Sox said, hey, wait a second, we don't want you going over your innings limit because we're looking to trade you this offseason. That messed with him a little bit. We're also talking about a guy who's just coming off of Tommy John, who kind of fell apart a little bit towards the back end. Honestly, what you're looking at right now in terms of potential with Garrett Crochet as he enters next season is something similar to Tariq Skubal. Coming into 2024, everyone said Tariq Skubal has the potential to win a Cy Young. He just needs to stay healthy. He had been injured up until his point in 2024. Guess what? He went out, he won the Triple Crown in pitching, right? I'm not guaranteeing that Garrett Crochet is going to be anything like Tariq Skubal or anything like that, but what I am going to say is that the potential for that top of the rotation arm is right there. I'm extremely excited about this if you can't tell. I'm going to talk a lot about Garrett Crochet over the next few days because this sort of changes everything for the Boston Red Sox. I didn't expect them to put this much on the table to get this deal done, and I'm excited that they did. I understand that there are risks with a Garrett Crochet, but I think when you're talking about potential upside, this is a guy you absolutely should be taking a chance on. Lou Merloni says it best. This guy's a pig. He's disgusting. He's filthy. This is the dude that, if all is right, is going to easily man the top of this rotation. I'm just really excited about it. Now, we do have to talk about this package the Red Sox gave up because it is ginormous. It is massive for the Red Sox. You're giving up the only legitimate catching prospect in your system. Your newly drafted number 15 draft pick or whatever it was. He was already in the top 100 prospects. Those are sort of the two headliners of this deal. And I think the big one that people are going to be pretty upset about is Kyle Teel, specifically because the Red Sox catching situation right now isn't exactly fantastic. But I'll tell you what, at the end of the day, the Red Sox need to give up something, right? The Red Sox weren't going to screw the Chicago White Sox on this trade. We've known that since the very beginning. We know that in order to get Garrett Crochet from the White Sox, it was going to hurt. And I think, honestly, looking at this deal, I'm not going to say the Red Sox did a good job of mitigating the damage because there's still a lot of damage there, and it's definitely going to raise some really serious questions about where the Red Sox are going over the next couple of years, especially in that catching position. But I'm also going to say they avoided using some really big names to get this done. It was rumored that the White Sox were asking for Roman Anthony at just a week ago from the Red Sox. They avoided using Marcelo Meyer, and I know people are going to say, I would rather have Kyle Teel than Marcelo Meyer, and that's fine. I think there's absolutely an argument to be made there, but when we're talking strictly about value, either this year, next year, the deadline, whatever it is, Marcelo Meyer is certainly more valuable on paper than Kyle Teel. You were able to keep Christian Campbell, which I think is a massive plus. But on top of that, you were able to hold on to a couple of your really big major league impact players. Wilyer Abreu, Tristan Casas, right? Casas was all over the headlines as a potential person to get traded. The Red Sox were able to avoid trading him. So I think overall, yes, it's a massive deal. Yes, it's going to hurt. The Red Sox needed to make sacrifices here in order to get that done. And that's exactly what they did. So if we're looking at it in that vacuum, I think the Red Sox mitigated a lot of their loss here. I know a lot of people are going to disagree with that, but I actually don't hate the package that the Red Sox are sending back. Again, I don't love it. I love Kyle Teel. I think Kyle Teel is going to be an everyday all-star at the major league level. But Garrett Crochet could win you a Cy Young, right? That's the potential you're looking at. That's the potential you had to go off of. And that's the potential the Red Sox did. Now, the one big interesting thing I really am looking forward in this Garrett Crochet deal is whether or not the Red Sox decide to extend him. Garrett Crochet only has 2 years left of arbitration before he's a free agent. He said he's open to an extension with whatever team he gets traded to. I'm very curious if that is part of this for the Red Sox, because if it is, it's going to make that package much easier to digest. If it isn't, it's definitely going to be a little bit harder to digest that package. But ladies and gentlemen, this morning we were sitting here bashing the Red Sox ownership, and they still didn't spend money. Don't get me wrong. I'm not letting them off the hook for spending money, but in terms of big moves, in terms of being decisive, in terms of being a major market on the trade market, they went out and they did that. They got their guy, and I am unbelievably excited Garrett Crochet is going to be in a Red Sox uniform. I think I still would have preferred if they had spent money on a free agent pitcher as opposed to trading these guys away. But if this is the way you're going to do it, I will take it every day of the week, because your job is to put this team into contention. And Garrett Crochet, again, if healthy, but there are question marks with every pitcher, is going to be able to do that. The Red Sox get their big ticket name. They get the guy that is going to really set their rotation apart going into 2025, but I hope they aren't done there. I don't think this totally lets them off the hook for botching the other free agent deals in the market. I still think the Red Sox need to go out and get a Corbin Burnes, and I think they should still be in the market for Corbin Burnes. I don't know what this trade does to affect that. I don't think monetarily it should affect anything. I hope the Red Sox are looking at this as a stepping stone. They clearly saw last night that losing Max Fried really was going to make their offseason a challenge, and they pivoted to Garrett Crochet. One thing that I find that's absolutely fascinating about this Garrett Crochet deal is that the Red Sox weren't even really serious suitors until this morning. Alex Spear tweeted out right after Garrett Crochet got traded that, hey, they weren't even looking at Garrett Crochet until this morning. I really, really think that's interesting. I think Max Fried going to the Yankees really stepped their game up. I'm really hoping this is the start of what we were promised by this front office this offseason, because they still have a lot of work to do, but this is a really, really great first step. I don't really know how it could have been much better. Actually, I do. They could have spent money, but regardless, I'm not going to sit here and complain. I think there are things that you can look at in this trade and you can absolutely complain about. You could complain about the way it was handled. You could complain about how the Red Sox acquired this top pitching talent, but at the same time, they're finally making big market moves, regardless of whether or not it's a trade or a signing. This is a big market move. This is what teams who want to compete do, and I hope this is a sign for things to come. But boy, am I excited about this Garrett Crochet stuff. It's been like, what, 7 hours, and my head is spinning. I went from the lowest I've been this offseason to probably the highest because we finally have some legitimate news to talk about. So can't wait to really dive into this with you guys tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern, right here on this channel. But until then, let me know in the comment section down below, what do you guys think? I think I did a full 180 in terms of excitement about the Red Sox right now in the span of like 7 hours. But let me know what you think. Do you like this trade? What do you not like about it? Are you looking forward to crocheting a uniform? Are you nervous? Let me know all your thoughts on the biggest Red Sox trade they've made in a very long time in the comment section down below. As always, if you made it to the end of this video, do me a favor. Make sure you guys have hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. If you're new here, we talk Red Sox content almost every single day. Also, make sure you guys have hit the like button on this video as well. It simply helps out a ton, and it's the best way to let me know you're enjoying the content. Don't forget, if you want to listen instead of watch, all these are always available anywhere you listen to podcasts. Thank you all very much for clicking on this one, and I will see you tonight, 7 p.m. to break all this down and more, and in the red seats.